This is a PlayStation 2 and it was my child. It was my child. This doesn't feel right. I'm not saying this right. Well, come with me. Oh man, we are here for a treat. If you don't live under a rock and are above the age of like 20, maybe less, you probably had some type of contact with this console over here, or at least heard about it. I mean, it's the most sold console ever. It really is a big feat. Actually, wanna see something cool? I can summon an entire generation with just one sound. Look, listen, whatever. Yeah man, for me and for you, guy with teared up eyes, this is the sound of nostalgia. This is the sound of 8 AM on a Saturday with a blanket on my back playing Sonic Heroes. It's me and my family playing Buzz at night with these cool ass controllers. It's anxiety seeing if it would turn up or not. Sony did us bad with that bug. I would spend so much time turning it off and on just for it to run properly. Yeah, tough times, first world problems I guess, but that was part of the charm. The PS2 is really one of a kind, a generational marker. And today I kinda wanna share some of my stories with you and go into the why. This is the console of my childhood, and of my childhood and of your childhood probably. Love you PSP, but this one just reaches another level of nostalgia. So consider giving me a like, subscribing, the usual. Let's dive in. And hey, if you are confused to the why I placed an entire gaming setup in the middle of the woods, it's because I can, and it's because I wanted something beautiful to talk about a beautiful console, okay? My artistic vision. I really need to seek help. Well, anyway, let's start the video. It is kinda hard to pick. Yes, we are here on the green screen, but I promise you I will be back in the woods in time. It is kinda hard to pick a point in which I would like to talk about my experience with the PlayStation 2. There's so much fond memories and cool stories that I want to share, making this task quite hard. But I guess a good starting point would be with my first game and how I got the PlayStation 2 PSP video style. That's fair. This was my first console. Plain and simple. That alone is one of the reasons to why this is so special to me. Like, I probably played more PSP when I was a kid. I am almost sure that I played more PSP when I was a kid, but this console just reaches another level of nostalgia. Nothing against the PSP, love that console and even made a video about it, but the PlayStation 2 reaches other feelings. It just brings memories in a different way. But funny enough, I don't have a lot of memories linked to when I got it. I know that the PS3 was already around. Yes, that's how it goes. I know that it was Christmas, which makes it kinda cool. But besides that, I don't remember the year. I must have been like 6 years old. I don't remember opening the present. I just know that I had the PlayStation 2 on my hands, then there's a blackout, and I am on my uncle's lap playing Sonic Heroes. And now that I'm mentioning it, it really feels like a weird fucking story, but I don't care, can't stop, won't stop. Really can't really develop on the receiving the PlayStation 2 part. I don't have a beautiful philosophical story linked to it. I don't even remember asking my parents for one. Maxed out my memory card, 16 megabytes only. But let's all be honest, that doesn't really matter. Let's talk about the shit, the real shit. What about Sonic Heroes? That game sucked years of my life, in a good way. Bro, that Sonic boy, he can really do head. I had so much fun playing and replaying the levels. Well, okay, in retrospect, I was only able to replay levels because, well, my gaming abilities weren't really at their peak form at the time, so I only finished one of the campaigns. Okay, now we might be confused. Explanation time. For you inferior life forms that didn't play this game, this shit was basically divided in 4 different teams. You could play as 4 different teams. There was the team of Sonic with Knuckles and Tails, Amy's team, Shadow's team, and this weird guy with a carrot nose, or what the fuck is this team? And the only campaign I was able to finish, like do all the missions, was with the Pink Ladies team. Don't ask me about it, I just saw the 100% completion rate and I was happy, okay? Well, my clear lack of ability didn't stop me from playing the levels over and over again. The ones I could beat, because I am very proud. Which, to be honest, I find very interesting. When we were kids, and I think you little viewer can fit here, if you are like above the age of 16, we didn't care about winning or losing. We didn't care if we finished the game per se, like, fuck Amy, nothing against you, but like, fuck you. We just cared about having fun, and the cooler ones are clearly Sonic and Shadow, so of course I would play with them. And again, fuck you Amy, with all the words that I can say, fuck you. Shadow is the real shit, and Sonic. I just wanted to turn on my PS2, and then I would play the same levels, again, and again, and again and again, and it was always magical. I always had a blast. We didn't care about no backlog. We didn't care about having the full experience. We didn't care about having more or less games to play. No, that shit stinks. I am Sonic, I'm fast as fuck boy. That's all I need. I really wish I could go back into that way of thinking, into sitting my ass down and playing a game aimlessly just for the sake of it. But we grown-ups, ain't we? We are bound to be sad and chronically anxious. Anyway, if there is a game that can wake up nostalgia in my mind, it's this one. Just feel the vibe of the places, mega structures on the background. Actually, let me develop in this topic. The levels in this shit slapped hard, mainly aesthetically. Just look at this shit, there is a casino level. There's a city down there. We are playing giant fucking pinball. Look at me seated on a beach, and it's a pretty ass beach. Look at this jungle. This enormous jungle. Forget it. Amazing, amazing. That is what I call aesthetic. But this is not the only thing. There were amazing cutscenes. I saw them so many fucking times. Even the sound attacks of Knuckles are engraved in my head. He-rah! He-rah! Countless and countless hours of me speeding through orcas, jumping in the air, fucking robots up, or balancing in these trees while crocodiles are trying to catch me. My man, good times. And it really was countless hours. I remember one time going into my grandmother's house and taking the PlayStation 2 with me, and I played for such a long time, like for such a long period of time, that my head started to hurt. And not because of the tremendous speed of Sonic, but because I played for a full-time job shift, like 8 hours in a row. Of course that I didn't tell my parents that my head hurted, because that would be a free pass into never touching the PlayStation 2 again, at least for the end of the month. But yeah, that happened. And well, I played this so much because, just like me and you, epic gamers with nostalgia problems, we didn't have a lot of games to choose from, okay? For a big chunk of time, I had that Sonic game, and that was it. I'm not trying to make it seem like a big thing, like I didn't really care that much, but yeah, that was the reality. Well, throughout the years, my library of games kept rising, and to be fair, kept slightly and slowly rising. I never had a huge amount of games, and then the PSP got in the way, so I had to choose games for either the PSP or the PS2, ultimately making me not having a lot of games for either of the consoles. Again, first world problems, I guess. Well, as I said, not too many games came my way, and the main reason was, of course, the price. What else would be the reason? We weren't, well, rich per se, so money wouldn't and couldn't go to games mindlessly. I think that's obvious. So whenever I saw good deals, that was basically my job. I would always ask my mom or dad to take it. It didn't work 99% of the times, of course, but one of the places where I got lucky enough and where I saw two very good deals was, and you get ready, at a stationery shop. That place where you buy cigarettes and newspapers and pens. Yeah, I bought 2 games there. 2 solid games, actually. I don't know if that is a normal thing in your country, but in my country, the tiny Cristiano Ronaldo Pastel de Nata Portugal, that shit wasn't normal. Really goated store. Anyway, one of the video games that I got there was a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle video game. And man, that shit was ahead of its time. Really, you played as multiple characters, each of them having their own unique abilities. You had a forest level where you played as a hooded ninja. You had the Mad Raphael level. You had a level where you jumped in between balloons with this cool guy. And of course, you also played as the full team of turtles. And you could choose whatever turtle you would like to play as. My go-to pick, Donatello. I don't know, man. Just the fact of having a big stick, I don't know. I finally had one. I don't know, man, I would easily play this shit nowadays. The combat was really decent, even the bosses had very cool designs and were very cool. I hope this isn't just nostalgia speaking for me, but man, in my head, it bangs, and it was like $5. Well, the other game that I got from that store was not as cool as the Turtle title, but it was also cool as shit. Truth being told, I don't even know if I ever finished a level per se, but it was fun, and I played it a lot. Tom Clancy's Recon Advanced Warfighter. That was my first-person shooter. So futuristic. Even as a kid, I loved the aesthetics and the vibe. That game had a vibe, but that shit wasn't made for kids. As I said, I don't even know if I finished one level, let alone the game. I've had too fast, I didn't know any path, I didn't know English, so I couldn't figure out a way through the menus. I just didn't know. I was dumb, and that shit was made for geniuses. My memories of it are failure attempts after failure attempts and not even being able to start some levels. Still, again, I played a shit ton of it because I didn't have a lot of things to play, okay? And I had my fun passing the levels or trying to pass one level. I don't know. Okay, now, if you had a PS2, you know damn well that all of this that I am talking about is just filler in an average PlayStation 2 experience. You can have all the memories about every game, but we all know that in the end, it's about the Saint Trinity. These three masterpieces, these three angels, these three magnum opus. Nothing can compare to them in terms of popularity and memories gathered, okay? Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3, GTA San Andreas, and God of War. But what about this game, and this game, and what about this game, and this game? Shut up! It's my video, man. My video. Let me be alone. Let me do the video the way I want to. We all know these games, don't we? We all have amazing memories linked to them, don't we? Don't we? Well, if you saw my PSP video, you already kinda know what the answer is for GTA San Andreas. The GTA from my childhood was Liberty City Stories, okay? I played that shit to the moon and back. But that wouldn't invalidate me playing GTA San Andreas. I could have played both. I had infinite time as a kid. Truth is, I didn't really play it that much. And I don't have a good reason to it. My approach to it was basically the same as to Liberty City Stories. I would boot up the game, commit mass murders, ignore the main missions, and that was it. And in this case, it should be even cooler. There were bikes, planes, boats, there were more weapons, the map was bigger. But for some reason, I just didn't have it in me. I guess I wasted the entirety of my platform of killing people on Liberty City Stories. I did some horrible shit on that game. Really, I would probably be in jail. But San Andreas, I don't know, man. I just didn't have it in me. It's like I'm telling you. I just did some massacres, and that was it. That was my relation with one of the GOATs. Not the biggest horror moment. But what about Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3? I must have played that game for infinite hours. Cause well, I was a super die-hard Dragon Ball fan. I even want to do a video dedicated to it because I used to be such a huge fan back in the day, and I still love it to this day. I would watch it every day after school on my grandmother's house with the dubbed version of My Country, which was just I even watched Dragon Ball GT, and yes, it's not bad, you are just a nitty picker. I played so many hours of Dragon Ball on my PSP. I had so many toys of Dragon Ball. I used to Kamehameha the shit out of my brother. I was one of the guys that helped Goku with the Genki Dama, okay? I helped him defeat Kid Buu. I loved it. So it's almost a given that I played Budokai Tenkaichi 3, right? Right? Man, I never touched that game. Not even the box. Not a single physical contact with that shit. The only thing I did was watching a shit ton of it on YouTube. Like watching in repeat the compilation of every character on that game, thinking that one day I will be able to play with them. But that day never came. Actually, one time I spent an entire birthday looking for it on secondhand game stores. And nothing, not a sight of it. Like, I kinda know why I never found it. As I said, I got the PlayStation 2 when the PS3 came out, so of course that after some years of the PlayStation 2 already being out of stores, it would be hard to find games, and even harder to find a game as legendary as this one. Really sad times. Never was able to play with Babidi, Skibidi, but at least there was a game that was there to compensate my anime game needs. Did I like Dragon Ball? Yeah. Was it my favorite show as a kid? Absolutely. But as a fat nerdy boy, I also liked some other fatty nerdy shit, like Naruto. And there was an absolute banger on that console. Naruto Shippuden Ninja Heroes 5. Now that game, whoa, that game was the shit. Firstly, I got it for free. Yeah, a friend of my brother gave it to him on his birthday. Like, it was the birthday of my brother's friend, but he was the one that gave it to him. Don't ask me why, I don't know what weird favors he had to do to accomplish that, but the truth is, I got a free game. And secondly, it was just good. It had a semi-open world with a different approach to combat, which was fun. It followed the story very closely and very well. There were a lot of characters, and it had transformations like Naruto with 4 tails, or even Choji as a butterfly. Cool as shit. And that game also has a cool story behind it. Okay, maybe it's not that cool of a story, it's just something to put into perspective, something. Just listen to me. As I was playing the story of that game, my memory card ran out of space. So I asked my grandmother to give me a new memory card. She gave me one. I know this seems like a very stupid story, and it is, but listen up, okay? My grandmother gave me a 16 megabyte memory card. 16 megabyte. At that time, games used to run on that shit. Naruto games, GTA San Andreas, Dragon Ball Budokai Tenkaichi 3 with hundreds of characters ran on a stupid 16 megabyte memory card. How is that even possible? Now a tiny bit of footage from this stupid ass video doesn't even have 16 megabytes worth of space. It is really weird to think that games like this that look pretty good ran on that shit, and now games that look like this have like 15 gigabytes of size or 100 gigabytes, and they look like this. Shit, really weird to think about it. It's just a random thought, okay? Don't give too much to it, I'm just stupid. Well, let's talk about the last game of the legendary trinity of games that I said. Yo, Trinity, I don't know what I'm saying anymore. As you can see, I didn't have the same experience as a lot of people. Like, 2 of the most played games, 2 of the most remembered games don't have the small bit of weight in my life as a PlayStation 2 gamer. At most, they gave me sad vibes for not being able to play them. I will always want you, Dragon Ball Goku. But I had to play at least one of these 3. Come on, at least one of them need to be on my curriculum, okay? What type of gamer am I if I didn't play at least one of them? Well, I played one of them. Probably the less suitable for a child and the most badass, but I played one. God of War. The first one, not the second one. That one I played recently. I'm talking about the beginning of an era. Jesus, that game was very fucking good. Amazing. I have already talked a little bit about it on this video, of course more focused on the bosses, and everyone already kinda knows why this shit is the shit and why it's a timeless masterpiece and an absolute banger. So today, I just wanna tell you a little cutesy simple story that I have with it. Okay? I bought this game, and when I say I bought this game, I mean my father bought this game with his money on a second-hand game store. And, well, we bought it there because it was cheaper and it was there. We saw it, okay, let's buy this game. Which wasn't really a problem normally. I had a Hulk game, which I also bought on a store like that and it ran well. GTA San Andreas was from a store like that, and for the little time that I played, it ran well, so that usually wasn't really a problem, but in this case there was. Basically, after you kill Hydra, you go into a cutscene, and after these semi-nude girls appear on the screen, the game used to froze. It froze there, and I thought it was a bug. I didn't give much thought to it, and I just replayed the entire thing again, and again, and again, and again. Clearly something was off, and I asked my father to take it to the store. He said, okay, I'll take it to the store. And he said, why? And I said, well, after this, it freezes. Okay, I got it somewhat prepared. Gave the PlayStation 2 to my father, gave the game to my father, and he took it to the store. Okay, after some time, he calls me and asks, at which section does it freeze? And I was like, yo, you have to see the cutscene and it will freeze. Okay, I explained everything well, everything is going smoothly, I'll get the game in no time. And right after I hang up the phone, I remember. On that cutscene, two girls with their tits completely out, no pixels, nothing covering it, no, full on tits on the screen show up. And I was like 10 or 11, I wasn't supposed to watch that. I was fucked. My world was about to end. He would tell my mom, he would tell the police, damn, the FBI would be on my ass. I wouldn't be able to play the game. I would get beat with a belt. And the thing is, I was like 10 or 11. I didn't care about no tits. I just wanted to kill shit. I just wanted to end the life of every single living being on that amalgamation of lines of code, okay? Bro, I thought I was fucked. That was the end. And then my father got home. And nothing. He gave me the PlayStation 2. He gave me the game. He said to tell him if the game didn't run properly again. I played the game ran properly, and that was it. He didn't say anything about no tits. Rock and roll that, I guess. That or they didn't even run the disc, okay? They probably just cleaned it up or switched for a new one, I don't know. But I like to think that they watched the cutscene, watched the tits and said, yo, that kid is chill as fuck. Okay, let me dream, man/woman that is watching right now. I really do have a lot of stories with this little cutie thing, and I bet that I could be here for like at least an hour telling you shit. And I know you would want that, I don't want that, so let's keep this professional, okay? And by the way, let's dive into the last topic of the video. Boo-hoo, get yourselves together, subscribe and go watch the other videos. I'm fucking retarded. But well, to get into the last topic, I want to go again to the beautiful little corner of this forest that I found. I find it beautiful, and I'll give the speech to you, guy on the forest. Hey man, thanks, brutally sexy, very sex appealing man. Yeah, we back here. We back here because I wanted to have a more personal talk with you, epic Despacito gamer. Well, in a modesty aside, cool ass background. Come on, this aesthetic ass shit, look at all the trees. The fuck am I doing? Anyway, I'm gonna do a callback to my PSP video. And if you saw it, you already kinda know that I always liked to play alone. And that was part of the reason to why I like the PSP so much. With that little console, I could just be on my little world, playing under a blanket in my couch, with no one annoying me. It was just me, myself and I, solo run until I die. That was cool as shit. But as I also said on that video, even though I enjoyed and still enjoy being alone, I still very much prefer to play or to be with people, with my friends, with my family. Of course, we can't run away from our instincts. We are social animals deep down. Even if you think that talking to people isn't to you because you are a danger to society and a lonely wolf and really antisocial, I can very confidently tell you that that isn't inherently true. And I bet that your favorite moment in life and your favorite moments in life are probably shared with other people, with your friends or family again. And that's nothing bad, actually that's completely normal. And of course that my favorite moments with the PlayStation 2 would have involved someone else besides me. Did I love Sonic? Sure. Was Teenage Ninja Turtles the game amazing? Of course. Did God of War make me a stronger and hornier guy? Absolutely. But it didn't compare with the fun that I had playing with my brother or with my parents, okay? It just doesn't compare. So let's talk about one of the games that I most played with my brother. The one and only. The ultimate football game. Yes, not soccer, you fucking Americans. Pro Evolution Soccer 2012. It should be Pro Evolution Football, but I let it pass because that shit was a banger. Man, that was cool. That was great, actually, because I never lost. I don't even think that my brother won one game. Bro, he would cry. Actually, the last game I remember playing with him, I was winning like 10-0 on the first 45 minutes and he just stormed out of the room crying. Okay? That's what he did. He suffered upon my hands, but he was a little bitch. He cried every single time he lost on a game, okay? Even on the most family-friendly game that exists. Buzz Monster Mania. Now this is really the real shit, and this is probably the game that I miss the most. And not because it had an amazing gameplay, not because you could use these cool ass controllers, no, it was because I used to play it with my brother and with my parents at night, on bed, just laughing, having a good time, and seeing my brother cry. That was amazing. And bro, we competed fearlessly. There was a firework level, a water level, there was a haunted house level. Little viewer, if you played it, you know that that was absolutely amazing. And mainly if you played with cool people. And yes, of course, I'm gonna mention this again, and if you saw the PSP video, which I highly recommend you to do, you already know that, but again, we don't really miss the games that we miss playing, okay? I think you already know that. When you miss nostalgic moments, you don't really miss the things you were doing, no. You miss the way you felt at the time. Those games or things you were doing become special because those feelings get tangled deeply with those things. And there is nothing really you can do besides thinking about them and cherish about them. Because, and I am sorry to say it, but you will never be able to feel that way again. Because that was unique at that time, at those conditions, at that age, with that game, with those people. And yes, you might find this depressive because you will never be able to feel that way again. Even if you try, even if you replay the game with the people, you can just get a glimpse of what you used to feel, and it could fuck up with your head. But I, on the other hand, find it very beautiful. Every moment is unique, every second is different from one another. Every experience leaves a mark of authenticity. So it's your job to appreciate every moment in the best way that you possibly can. And in my opinion, I think that the best way to do it is with the ones that you love the most. Sharing those uniquely rare moments with them while you can and while it's possible to do. Maybe it's by playing Buzz with your family at night. Maybe it's by going with your sibling to the park or something. Or maybe it's just going with your parents to take breakfast on a completely random day. Because again, and repeating myself, every moment is unique. Even the smaller ones. And yes, being alone is cool, and I'm a cool ass guy, so of course I would like to also be alone. I'm cool as shit, man. Look at me, I'm in the middle of the forest with a fucking PlayStation and a television. What the fuck, I'm cool as shit! But sometimes, and I mean most times, we are better off sharing moments with other people, even the small ones. And as I'm getting older, I am slowly understanding that those are really the ones that stick to your mind and that you will probably remember for the rest of times. And that is probably one of the main reasons why the PlayStation 2 is so important to me, because I was able to share it with cool ass people. You know, playing Buzz, playing PS2, my brother watching me play Sonic because I was the older brother, of course I'm the one who plays, and I probably just went on a unheard rabbit hole of nerdiness. But I don't care. And you know what? I'm gonna do something even worse. Huh? You doubt me? I'm gonna save this moment in a physical way. See this shit? See this shit? Look at me being a fucking nerd. And now, this moment will be fucking car. This moment will be forever in a piece of plastic that I bought. Yeah. Jesus. What the hell am I doing with my life? Well, this is it. Thanks for watching. Now, of course that this was my story with the PlayStation 2, okay? My childhood console. You might have another console, you might have other stories, and now I want you to tell me those stories. What games or what experience you love the most as a kid while playing some shit? And come on, I know you have one. Don't be shy. Type it down there, okay? Thanks. And yeah, we are done. Thanks for watching, and peace, guy with nostalgic problems.